the 6th, the wife of former Washington Commanders offensive coordinator Eric Bieniemy shot at their Loudoun County home. The couple's son arrested this morning for the attack. Bieniemy was in Missouri for the start of Kansas City Chiefs training camp. Fox 5's Bob Barnard is in Ashburn with the latest.
We are across the street from the crime scene. This is the Bieniemy family home here on North Park Drive. This is the one Loudoun section of Ashburn. Been quiet all day, but was anything but last night. This is video shot by a neighbor of Elijah Bieniemy's arrest. The 27-year-old son of the Kansas City Chiefs offensive coordinator is charged with malicious wounding and 2 other crimes. He's jailed without bond. His dad used to be the Washington Commanders offensive coordinator back in 2023. Mia Bieniemy, 57 years old, was shot multiple times inside the family's home. According to the Loudoun County Sheriff's Office, she survived the attack, though suffering serious injuries. The Kansas City Chiefs head coach says Mia Bieniemy is in stable condition. Sheriff's investigators not saying what, if anything, they know about a possible motive or whether they'd ever been out here on a call to the Bieniemy home before. Reaction now from neighbors we've spoken to today.
So we did hear gunshots, a couple shots actually, and we're lucky enough to be living in a safe neighborhood, I say, because the police got here really fast.
We looked out the window and saw the lights out, and we're like, oh my God, what's going on? And then went out and saw the chaos that was going on. It's kind of crazy.
What's happened?
Very sad, very sad. I pray that she's gonna make a full recovery.
It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. You never expect that to happen in this neighborhood.
We also spoke to the family's next-door neighbor, who says he didn't hear the gunshots, is stunned like everybody else, says Elijah Bieniemy seemed like a great young man.
Yeah, Elijah, he's always been very polite. And anytime I see him, he's always, he was very cordial and greeted, very, no issues, no problems. And he was always to himself. And the mom was always very polite, very kind. So this is really very sad, very shocking to all of us.
Eric Bieniemy was not here last night. The Kansas City Chiefs are in Missouri. Their summer training camp is just getting started. Head coach Andy Reid, speaking to reporters today, said things happened, wasn't sure of any of the details, but like everyone else, says he's praying for the Bieniemy family.
Bob, thanks so much. Today, a Georgia man pleading guilty to bringing a loaded gun to the Capitol building as well as child pornography charges. Carter Camacho was arrested back in February after running toward the Capitol with a loaded 12-gauge as well as tactical-style vest and camouflage. He was stopped by a Capitol police officer before getting inside. Camacho claimed he was there to talk to a member of Congress. Crews also found child pornography in his car. He will be sentenced in December. The head of the NTSB calling on Congress to pass stalled airline safety legislation in the wake of the deadly Potomac plane crash. Lawmakers have been working on competing bills for months, which would require more safety equipment on military and civilian aircraft. NTSB Chair Jennifer Homendy saying today her agency gave a clear roadmap and now it's time for action. The DCA plane crash involving an American Airlines jet and military helicopter killed 67 people in January of 2025. Ambulances back at the D.C. National Guard's Youth Academy in Laurel today after almost 20 teenagers were rushed to the hospital yesterday. Now we're hearing from a mother who says she had to pick her son up and take him to the hospital herself. Fox 5's Sina Gebra has more.
The mother I spoke to is questioning some of what we were told by first responders yesterday. Now, we did ask them and the D.C. National Guard why there were ambulances here again today, and we're still waiting to hear back. Here's a look at what our cameras caught in this footage earlier today. You can see those emergency vehicles, the ambulances parked here at the Laurel campus. Now, yesterday, Anne Arundel County Fire got here around 2:30 p.m. after they'd had lunch and took 19 teenagers who they say had similar but minor symptoms to the hospital. They said they conducted a carbon monoxide investigation and that they didn't detect any. They said they haven't confirmed what exactly caused this, but that it might be related to food. Now, the mother I spoke to today says her son called her around 8 o'clock o'clock last night. He told her he felt fine when the other cadets were taken away earlier in the day, but later on he felt dizzy. He told her he had a headache and that he'd thrown up. She says she took him to the hospital where blood tests showed that he had elevated levels of carbon monoxide.
It was very alarming, you know, and scary. No diarrhea, no signs to me that it looks like food poisoning, which I'm not saying it's not. However, I'm just more concerned that whatever it is that is checked. You know, I just want to make sure not just for my child, but for all the children on campus.
She also told us that the academy called her today and told her that they're temporarily closing until they figure out what's causing all of this. For those of you who are not familiar, the D.C. National Guard's Capitol Guardian Youth Challenge Academy is an alternative education program for high school dropouts and just other teens who haven't done so well in a traditional high school setting. Back to you.
Sina, thanks so much. Turning to the weather now, here's a live look outside at Frederick, Maryland from our Fox 5 sky camera. And although it is hazy, it's a nice reprieve from the heat wave that we have been navigating for many parts of this summer, Caitlin.
Yeah, I know we really took a break from that last week. It was so nice this weekend. The humidity a little bit lower, the temperature a little bit lower. It was nice.
It was. Even though we went off to Great Wolf Lodge and it was beautiful there as well.
Well, good. Yes, I think the past few weekends before that, you know, with the wildfire smoke, the storms, the humidity, it's been tough to really be outside over the weekend.
Very much so.
So it was a nice change, Tisha. Today, not bad, but as we get into tomorrow, we will be talking about a few showers and thunderstorms that we're tracking. So Tuesday looks to be a busy day. Today, as we started you off on your Monday, back to normal July temperatures as we hit a high of 90. That is still our climatological average. 87 at Dulles, 88 at BWI. It's been kind of a hazy, cloudy sky all day long. Combination of, yes, some weather-related clouds, but up above at the highest level of the atmosphere, some wildfire smoke caught back up, this time from fires burning in Oregon. 88 degrees at the airport right now, dew point of 61, winds out of the north at 9 miles an hour. Most of us are seeing temperatures in the mid to upper 80s. Satellite and radar has shown a few showers and storms off to our east. There's kind of been this north to south pull through the afternoon and evening hours for the eastern shore and the beaches, but that is starting to wind down. Busy severe weather day across the Ohio Valley. Storms are dropping south in through Indiana and Ohio. That looks to hold together, move across the mountains late tonight, and could bring us some showers as early as daybreak tomorrow. So through this evening, we could still have something very isolated by sunset. Otherwise, it's mostly cloudy and on the mild side overnight, with temperatures falling back into the mid-60s north and west, 72 in the city. Tomorrow, as I mentioned, we could start out with some rain in spots, and then later in the day, we'll be watching for developing showers and thunderstorms, some of which could be severe. We'll talk more about that, show you futurecast and your full 7-day forecast coming up. Tisha?
Caitlin, thanks so much. New at 6, D.C. Water finishing the first step in emergency repairs on a nearly 200-foot section of the Potomac Interceptor. This is near Pettyfield Lock in Potomac. Crews adding a new lining after inspections found serious damage. The next phase of construction is expected to start next month. D.C. Water is doing a broader repair effort following this year's historic sewage spill. The Prince George's County Council agreed to establish a special taxing district to help fund the new Sphere project at National Harbor. County leaders say future tax revenue generated within that district would be set aside in a dedicated fund that could help finance the project. The project is estimated to cost up to $1.4 billion. Through a public-private funding structure. The county's investing commitment is roughly $200 million. Day one of a hearing wrapping today over the years-long dispute over a plan to replace pipelines. D.C.'s Public Service Commission discussing a controversial Washington Gas request. In the two-day hearing, leaders are weighing whether to spend $150 million on the third phase of the project. The project would be financed through a surcharge on customers' gas bills. Leaders in D.C. and Maryland have pushed back on the idea, as well as environmental groups. Meanwhile, oil prices plunging today as the United States pauses its strikes against Iran for a third day. Both sides had been exchanging overnight attacks until Iran fired on the ships in the Strait of Hormuz. President Trump warns strikes will resume if a new ceasefire deal is not reached. There is still no clear answer on whether negotiations are actually underway. Today, Iranian leaders reiterating there are no current talks.
See what happens. If we don't make a deal, we go back to the same thing.
We are depleting these every day, despite the fact that we could face other potential conflicts around the world.
Meanwhile, U.S. ally Saudi Arabia announced it intercepted a number of drones from Iran-backed militias in Iraq. James Comey calls for a judge to throw out federal charges against him. The former FBI director arguing a photo of seashells arranged to make the numbers 8647 was protected political speech, not a call to violence. Prosecutors have claimed the numbers were calling for someone to kill President Trump. Comey is set to go to trial later this year.